I'm Jeff Philbin. This is Dinner DeeAs, your home for ideas for dinner. Today, we share a recipe for a chicken dish, Basmati Arroz con Pollo. Today, Chef Rosanna Rivera is back in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen. Last time she was here, she shared a recipe for the perfect paella made with chicken, chorizo, and a lot of love, which is still available at dinnerdeas.com. And today, she's sharing her recipe for Basmati Arroz con Pollo. Before that, though, real talk for a second, though. So many of us were impacted by the storm. You guys just opened up Chef in the Baker Cafe down in South Tampa. How'd you guys do through the storm?
Well, we had significant damage in our new location. We were open for 2 weeks, and then we got hit with the first storm. So we had, significant flooding and a lot of damage for equipment and floors. But guess what? We made through it.
You made it through it.
We made it through.
Come on now. Come on now.
That's a good thing.
That's an awesome thing.
Yes.
It's awesome because you're back up and running.
We're back up and
you're
running.
You're doing your thing.
Yes.
You're having some fun, and you're baking.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. But today, we're not going to be baking
No.
because today, we're celebrating even more now. You guys are open. We're all on the rebuild for it there. Chef Rosanna is sharing a recipe for a Basmati Arroz con Pollo.
Absolutely. So you know that I'm born and raised in Puerto Rico, and this is a very traditional dish, but we're going to give it a twist because one of the ingredients that we're going to feature is basmati rice.
That's so cool because you don't see that together. So
I agree.
This is a real treat to try something a little different. You don't have to stay in the lane. You can venture out.
Let's take the stigma out that basmati is only for Indian cuisine.
Bingo.
It's a very aromatic rice, so I think it's perfect for this recipe.
Perfect. So how do we get started then?
So I'm doing very traditional things for the arroz con pollo. So the first thing is creating this annatto oil.
Now, what is an annatto oil?
So it comes from the seeds. So we're steeping the annatto seeds in olive oil.
Okay.
It's going to release basically the oils into the oil, and it's very earthy, fragrant, and it gives it that beautiful yellow rice, but also the flavor that's traditional in arroz con pollo.
Okay, so doing this process, you can actually start seeing it already starting to release some of that color around it. So this is going to bring color, flavor, all of those tastes, everything behind this. Okay. Absolutely. How long do we need to have this kind of cook inside these oils here?
So we have it at low heat, and it's going to be about 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And it's very noticeable. We're going to let it cook until the seeds turn black.
Until black. So you do want to take it to that point, but then that's it.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can give it a little bit of a swirl, so see how it starts releasing, and it gets that beautiful orange color.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, what do we have to do next?
So the next step is we're going to marinate chicken because obviously we want to let the flavors start working through.
Okay.
So I have a chicken thigh, and we're going to add some oil. We're going to add some sazon, like a good Puerto Rican.
Okay. And what does the sazon bring in terms of the flavor profile? Because so many people probably see it on the grocery shelf, but they've never really maybe worked with it before.
So these also has, saffron and oregano and garlic powder, onion powder. So a lot of the traditional seasonings that we have.
Okay.
I also added adobo, which is kind of another kind of seasoning mix that's very traditional in Puerto Rico. Some salt, and the last ingredient is vinegar. Vinegar helps breaking down the tissue in the chicken, so it makes it really soft, flavorful. It keeps the juices inside, so all the good stuff.
I love it.
You want to mix it really well, and this is going to be refrigerated for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So that the chicken absorbs all the flavor that we just put in.
Absolutely beautiful. Because to make Chef Rosanna's Basmati Arroz con Pollo, you can grab her recipe whenever you want from our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just get your phone and scan the QR code down there to find us.
So I'm going to put some plastic wrap, and this is going to go into the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Okay? Then next, we're going to strain our oil, which is ready to go.
Okay.
And very simply, we have it with a strainer, and it's just to basically hold the seeds away. And you smell it.
Oh,
it has that fragrant, earthy aroma to it.
Now, where would you find those seeds, from? a local vendor? Where would you get those?
So they're very easy to find in your local grocery store in the Hispanic section.
Okay.
Or Latino section.
In the Latino section. Very cool. But look at how much that has just really brought so much of just the aromatics behind it, but the color on that.
It's just
gorgeous.
incredible.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got refrigerated chicken already. How about this? I'll make the swap for you.
Thank you.
We'll put these ones in
it.
because by the magic of television,
we have our perfectly marinated chicken.
there you are.
Wonderful. So the next step for our arroz con pollo is now we're gonna brown and season the chicken. Because in Latin cuisines, it's about building flavors. So layers of flavor into the pot.
Okay.
So this is the first step. So we're going to take our fresh annatto oil. It's gonna go into our pot. And then we're going to add our chicken and let it season and basically brown up. So this is all gonna go into the oil, and this is gonna take approximately 5 to 6 minutes. We're gonna turn it and then let it brown in the oil.
Okay.
So while it does that, then the good thing is that we can work on our sofrito, which is gonna be the next step.
Now, what would be a sofrito? Walk us through basic 101 for a sofrito.
It's a mixture of aromatics.
Okay.
And sofrito is because we're eventually going to saute it, which comes from the word of sauteing in Spanish.
Okay.
But essentially, it's a blend of different aromatics. So what we're gonna do in the blender, and honestly, I make my sofrito in a really large batch.
Okay.
And always have it in the refrigerator ready to go.
Really cool then. So this is something that's going to be very nicely shelf stable, so that way then if you want to do it in batch like you do, you can bring this out at another time.
Correct.
Okay.
So we have garlic that has been pureed. We have some green onions, or you can also use Spanish onions. This is the key ingredient in Puerto Rican sofrito, which is culantro.
Okay.
It's the same family as the cilantro, but it's a wider leaf and it's very, very aromatic.
Okay. So would it be like cilantro, but just more?
I would say cilantro on steroids, if we can say that on
That was
TV.
those are the words I was saying. That's why I was like, it's more.
Can we
So
say
yes,
it?
it is
Yes.
on steroids. It's
Yes.
just bolster.
Pow.
It's just boom.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Then we have a couple of different types of green peppers. So that's green bell pepper and Cubanelle pepper. And all of these gets blended up until we have a paste.
Now the Cubanelle peppers, a lot of folks at home might not be familiar with that as well. What would be the difference between that flavor of a Cubanelle pepper to, say, a green pepper that you just added as well?
I want to say the Cubanelle is a little bit lighter in flavor and it's a little bit more floral.
Okay.
So you don't have as much strength like the green bell pepper does, but it's good to have a combination of both if you can find it.
Very cool. Because we're going to get the blending on while you take the break. When we come back, everything else that you need to know to bring all this together for a delicious dinner and why you'll need banana leaves at the ready. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're with Chef Rosanna Rivera. She's here to show us how to make Basmati Arroz con Pollo. Before the break, we heated annatto seeds in oil and then got making our chicken marinated using chicken thighs and adding olive oil, vinegar, adobo, and sazon, which all needed to go in the fridge for 30 minutes. Then we strain the seeds from our oil and heat it up to cook the chicken in while we put our sofrito together, blending garlic, green pepper, Cubanelle peppers, green onions, and culantro. Now this chicken, it's still smelling so good. Like it
Good.
and it looks like it's ready to start coming off.
It is. So obviously we browned it on all sides, which is the part that I was doing last, stirring it. Then we want to take it off because, as I mentioned earlier, it's about building layers of flavor.
I love that.
And this was our first layer. Now we're going to build our second layer for the rice, which is coming up right now. Remember that sofrito that we made?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna add our aromatics, and if you can lower the heat just a little bit for me so nothing burns. But we want that fond, right, that it creates at the bottom of the pan. That's all flavor. So we're gonna add our sofrito that we blended. We're gonna add more sazon because that's gonna give it color and flavor. Now, we use a lot of olives and capers in Puerto Rico, so I always leave this in the recipe as optional.
Okay.
Some people don't love this ingredient.
Okay.
It's just very traditional.
It's traditional.
You know, it kind of cuts through the really nice layers of flavor, so I'll leave that as an option, right?
Okay.
Then the last ingredient that goes in terms of layers of flavor is our tomato paste.
Okay.
And that's gonna give it a little bit of richness,
Yeah.
more color to the dish, which is absolutely great. Then we saute this. And again, we're doing this all in intervals of 30 seconds or so.
Okay.
But you see it at the bottom of the pan, kind of really sauteing and releasing flavors.
Absolutely.
Now we're gonna add our rice and make sure that our rice is coated in all of this flavor, right?
You want to make sure that it's got that color, it's taking on everything. Look at that, just
Correct.
working right now.
Yeah, and it's also, this is a really great step where you're toasting the rice. It helps it bloom really well.
And especially with a basmati rice like this. Like, that's such a unique rice to have for a dish like this.
I agree.
And so this is just going to be just absolutely beautiful.
Delicious and aromatic. You know, one quality of basmati rice is that it is a very fragrant, aromatic rice. Kind of blends really well with the really strong flavors that we have here. We just added the chicken back in, mix it really well, and then I usually do like a layer. And then the last ingredient that's gonna go in is our water.
Grab Chef Rosanna's recipe at our website, dinnerdias.com. Scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to get there. Oh, look at that.
I love the smell, and it gets really quiet too.
It does, because it's just like, you kind of just like, or it's a waiting game. It's the anticipation right now, because this is what we just have to do now. We just have to let it do its thing, right?
Absolutely.
Are the taste on there?
The taste is in there.
Okay.
And this is the time that I like to taste and adjust with a little bit of rice,
Okay.
with a little bit of salt if needed.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna sprinkle just to taste a little bit, just so that water is very flavorful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Come
Love
on now.
it.
So now this is just going to be brought up to a simmer.
Correct.
We're going to reduce this heat.
Yes.
And then banana leaves. What's going on there?
So this is very traditional in Puerto Rico, because if you want your rice for the grains to be separate and still fully cooked in the center, you want to create steam. And we have a great vessel for creating steam using a Dutch oven pan. But banana leaves help keep that steam right in the rice, but they also add a little bit of smokiness, which
Okay.
it's very traditional and I absolutely love.
Now, where are you finding banana leaves? Like, where is someone at home going to be able to get that?
So normally you can find it at your local grocery store and in the freezer section. These are fresh.
Okay.
But very easily you can find it on the freezer section, and those are still really great to use.
So that's still going to give you that flavor. If you
Correct.
can't find fresh, you got to use frozen. You can do that.
Absolutely, you can.
Very cool. Well, this dish has to simmer, so what better time to take a break when we come back? How to get it from the pan to the plate, ahead on Dinner Dias. Welcome back to Dinner Dias. And today we're cooking with Chef Rosanna Rivera, and she's going to be making this dish, her Basmati Arroz con Pollo. Before the break, we finished browning our chicken and took it out of the pan to cook up our blended sofrito, adding in sazon, olives, and capers, followed by tomato paste, then toast our basmati rice, adding the chicken back in, a little water, and then covering with banana leaves for a smoky flavor. Little chef's tip right there.
So yes, for the perfect aroma.
For the perfect aroma. Who knew? And we left it all to simmer. You think it's ready?
It is. Let's check.
Let's check
think
this out.
so. Let's do a great reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that beauty. So, of course, before we mix it, we're going to take the banana leaves out. And these can be just tossed.
Okay.
Or composted, you know, who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And look at that. It smells amazing,
It's
right?
so good. It's so good. Now we're going to let this rest for a little bit.
So usually, yes, I'm gonna mix it now,
Okay.
and then you wanna let it rest for about 5 minutes, because it finishes absorbing the water or any liquids that are still left. And also the flavors marry, they all get so much better.
I love it, because if you want to make this for your dinner tonight, grab the recipe from Chef Rosanna at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to find it. So we're going to let this cool, let this rest while we kind of do a little bit of garnishing for it.
Absolutely. So, you know, I love just traditional flavors. So I love cilantro.
Okay.
We're going to sprinkle some cilantro. It's just rough chop, nothing too crazy. And then something very traditional Puerto Rico, we love our red peppers. So just some piquillo peppers, just cut into strips. And then we eat a lot of avocado. This is a great side dish for us.
I love that. And now most people would be like, that's not the avocado that I know.
know.
That's not a Haas avocado. But there are
Correct.
over 500 types of avocado on planet Earth. And so what avocado do we have here?
This is a local Florida avocado, and it's beautiful
Right
and
on.
large. It is sweeter and has more water content in it, so I find it like really buttery. So for a dish that has so much flavor in it, I think it's perfect pairing.
What a beautiful compliment.
And then, honestly, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I am born and raised in Puerto Rico, so this is the kind of avocado that we have there as well.
This is it. So does this bring you back to home a little bit? Look how beautiful this is right here.
Look at that beauty.
Come on now.
And then we're just gonna slice it and take it out of the, you know, of the skin, and then you can have as many or as little as you'd like. And then we're just gonna sprinkle some salt in it, and if you love olive oil, I usually drizzle a little bit of olive oil, and that's it, but that's optional.
That's optional? Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
So are we ready to plate?
Let's go for it.
All right.
I'd love to see it.
So normally, you know, this is a full meal, right? So I usually just go right
It is a
into the
hearty
center.
dish.
It is.
It is a very simple dish, but just elevated and layer by layer that you showed us to walk us through that. Flavor, flavor, flavor. It's just going to be
Yes.
coming alive.
And then, you know, as much or as little cilantro as you'd like. And then if you can grab me a spoon, because I forgot to
I
grab
got
one
you, Chef.
earlier. Just a little bit of red pepper. And let's get some avocado out of here. And sprinkle some salt. And then we are going to be ready to go. And this is gonna be like super creamy. You can also dice it if you prefer diced avocado.
Okay.
But I just go for a wedge of it.
You just go for that wedge.
That full wedge that you can bite into.
And it brings a nice little bit of color back to the dish as well, which is beautiful. Look at the colors on that. Look at the height on it. Come on now. If you want to make this dish for your dinner, we want to know. Take a photo before you eat it all. Trust me, I know it's hard, but you can do it. Just email us at dinnerdeas@fox.com. That's what Cynthia did. Hi, Cynthia. She's watching us in Tampa and made the macaroni au gratin shared by Ciliana Pluvios from the Barnyard. And she's taken us through a step-by-step process here. And look at that.
Looks amazing, by the way.
Right. And again, another step-by-step, layer by layer.
Beautiful job, Cynthia.
I love it. When we come back after the break, we'll taste test this in one extra special bonus dish ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Chef Rosanna Rivera is with us today sharing the recipe for Basmati Arroz con Pollo, plus another dish, which we also have the recipe for on our website, which is her berry rice pudding. Come on now. You just went to all town with having fun with rice today.
We gotta have dessert as well.
You gotta have dessert, but let's start with the
Yes.
dinner first. You ready to dig right in?
Let's do it. Let me see
Okay.
what you think.
Now, what should we be tasting for?
So you want some earthiness from the annatto, you want brightness from the sazon and the chicken, and just overall comfort, right?
Oh, yeah. You said the key word, comfort. That's what this is. This is just everything. Because of the layers of flavor, the time that it takes, and it's not much, right? It's just step by step by step. You can taste all of that because there's that love that goes into appreciating the ingredients, taking the extra time to make your own sofrito. Totally night and day difference in everything.
I'm so glad you like it. Now taste it with the avocado
Okay.
because it brings that creaminess to it.
This is going to bring the creaminess.
Like a good Puerto Rican.
Like a good Puerto Rican. Okay.
It's gonna soften up those flavors and still make it really creamy.
It coats the palate even more, which complements everything that's going on. Because, like,
I didn't think it was going to change that much of the taste profile as much as it does, and it did.
You like it?
Do I like it? Come on now, I love it. That is so good. All right, so this right over here is a little bit of a surprise little treat.
It is, because we want to showcase basmati just in a different way.
I love that. It doesn't have to be just one lane and the only thing that we think of it to be. Here, we're celebrating it in an arroz con pollo and rice pudding. You ready to dig into this one here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go for it.
Go all the way down to the bottom
all
where
the
we
way
have
into
that blueberry jam.
Okay, so we got a blueberry jam, and what else do we have going on in here?
So we have coconut toasted nuts and some strawberries at the top. I think you're gonna like it.
I really like that because I'm not the biggest rice pudding fan, right? So I'm going to be honest. That is delicious.
Thank you.
And everything that's going on there.
And it's a take to showcase basmati in a, let's say in a breakfast way too. It's not overly sweet.
Yeah.
It has the right amount of sweetness. So it could be like a substitution for an overnight oat or an overnight chia.
Absolutely fantastic. This is one that is, I'm going back for more. And like that blueberry jam, like, ooh. It just got me right there. Thanks again to Chef Rosanna Rivera. Grab her recipes for the basmati arroz con pollo and her berry rice pudding, which is absolutely Chef approved on this one here at dinnerdias.com. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching and see you next time for more Dinner Dias.